What's up, metalheads? This is Ritchie from Gravehuffer. You are listening to the Metal Meltdown with Dave Softee on Metal Messiah Radio. Crank it up!
Where are we? Help me to recollect.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome back to Metal Messiah Radio. Hailing from Joplin, Missouri, from thrash crust metal band Gravehuffer. Joining us once again, we have Ritchie Randall on guitars to tell us about the latest news concerning the band and what we can expect next from Gravehuffer. Welcome back to the Metal Meltdown, Ritchie. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Dave. Happy New Year, man. I'm glad that we were able to do this today. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to talking to you again. You're always one of my more favorite interviewers. So thanks again for having me.
I appreciate that, and I want to thank you for reaching out to me again that we could fill in all the fans with all the latest Gravehuffer news. And thanks for your patience in getting it done now. I wanted to wait till after the holidays, of course.
Sure.
How you doing out there? I know you're sounding better every day, by the way, but I know you recently had a cold.
Yeah, something. Wish I could figure out what it was. Get a vaccine against this thing. Ugh, it's gross, but yeah.
It's the weather. It's the weather. Changing in the weather always gets you feeling this way.
Yeah, it's definitely taken me quite a few days to kind of get over this, and I'm still little bit congested. My voice is kind of weird sounding, but yeah, I think I'll get the point across. So
No, you sound fine. I mean, just
thanks.
it seems like just a few weeks ago, if it was even that, weather here was like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, and now we have below zero temperatures, and we had a nor'easter last night. The wind was crazy as hell. This is how people get sick. I don't think it has anything to do with COVID or anything like that. But I know you've been vaccinated and you always get checked out, so it's not that.
Right. Yeah, I tested negative, against COVID, so my work required that I get tested, so I went in and tested, and I was negative, so it's probably just like feels like a cold on steroids or something, so, but yeah, I'm on the mend now, so I think it's all good, but like you said, I think it is changing weather, because we played shows in Texas, we went to Texas for 3 days. We played Houston, Arlington, and Hubbard, which is around the Dallas area. And then we came to Missouri, and that's quite a bit further north. And the temperatures went whoop, and just really dropped. And so loading gear outside, and, rapidly dropping temperatures like that it'll mess with you.
It usually gets me, I tell you that. And the last time we had this chance to talk, or since the last time, I should say, have you been able to promote a Necro Explosion with the live performances? You have just mentioned you had some shows in Texas. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of good shows since Necro Explosion was released last January. I can't believe it's been almost exactly a year, actually. So, and we started promoting Necro Explosion last May, and we've been playing shows ever since. In particular, in October, we played probably about 10 shows, and we played everywhere from Maryland Doomfest to shows in Indiana and Illinois and Ohio, Tennessee, Alabama, Tampa Death Fest. We hit the road pretty good in October, and then in the wintertime we typically don't play shows. But we were invited to play in Texas, and we're like, well, that's far enough south, it won't be so bad. So, but we played 3 shows in Texas, and they all went really well. We played in Houston, like I said, and Arlington, which is just in between Dallas and Fort Worth, and Hubbard. Hubbard was interesting because it was at a winery, and it was like everybody was seated and everything, and so it was kind of strange. It was like this old. It was next to an old antiques place, and the town's like 1,500 people in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And I could not believe the amount of people that were there and how crazy they were going. I mean, they were hungry for that kind of stuff, so it was a blast.
That's great. I mean, you would think with this COVID on the uprise again, that people wouldn't be turning out for shows, and that's probably why a lot of festivals are being canceled and all that stuff.
Well, I think part of what we do, we fly under the radar a little bit, and we don't pull the crowds that some of the bigger bands pull. I mean, we'll play to 50, 100, 200, maybe 300 people. It depends, but depends on the show.
That's better than it is here on Long Island, my local scene over here. But before COVID, you're lucky to see 50 people in the place. And if you're the headliner, you're lucky if 10 people still are waiting there to hear the headliner. So, this is before COVID. It's been like this a long time. Not like it is in the city.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just weird. Like, it's a crapshoot trying to get people to come to a show sometimes. And like you say, it doesn't matter if it's COVID or not. Sometimes, I don't know. I feel like, especially where you're at out on the coast, I'm not saying people were spoiled or jaded, but there's just so many things going on.
This is true. This is true.
So it's just, I mean, there's more people, but at the same time, there's shit going on everywhere. And so you just never know.
Yeah, I've noticed that within my own business with Mr. Softee. The business was what it was, and then we had the COVID, and everybody was home, and business was great. But now everything is like available to everybody. No one's around anymore. Where are the people going? You see people driving and driving. It's like, oh my God, where are they driving?
I know.
That's how it is.
I think that all the time. I'm like, where are they? Yeah, you just don't know what what's in people's heads sometimes.
People just don't want to stay home anymore. They're tired of, being indoors from COVID. It's like, I got to get out of here. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that makes total sense, man. I totally get that.
Well, I have to tell you, TikTok, you know of TikTok. I never even paid attention to this, but recently, I would say maybe a month ago, I started getting the app, and I find it very entertaining. And just watching it, I came across Gravehuffer. I never knew you were on TikTok.
Yeah, that was when we played Maryland Doom Fest. That's about the time we got on TikTok. And reason being was we were, quote, somewhat broke down, heading home from Maryland to Joplin. That's like a 16-hour drive. And going through the Appalachian Mountains, and the transmission just wasn't happening. So we had to basically find the nearest town, stay the night there. The next day we found a mechanic, and the guy was super cool, and like go in there, and he's like, "You guys must be in a band." And we're like, "Yeah." Like they just knew, and they give us lowdown and get us on our way. He asked us if we're on TikTok, and we're like, "No." He goes, "No, you guys are gonna get on TikTok." Really? He's like, "Yeah, get on TikTok." And so we decided to start a TikTok that day. And it's been pretty fun. Like, TikTok's pretty cool about being able to cross promote across the other social media platforms, and it's kind of a different way of just promoting your wares or your band or whatever it is you're into. Our music's on TikTok, so we just use our music to promote shows, and sometimes we'll play little snippets of new material on there. It just depends, but it's definitely a new, interesting way to go about it.
Yeah, I find it very entertaining. Like when I get onto TikTok, they say for you when they show whatever, but then as soon as I go to who I'm following, I'm following Gravehuffer, and a couple of people that I actually know through my industry, and it's just funny. It starts off with Gravehuffer, and sometimes I see you playing guitar. Sometimes I see some sort of promotion for Necro Eclosion, talking about a new song or a new video or something like that. And sometimes I see other musicians, it looks like, on Gravehuffer's site.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I decided to start using TikTok for when we were playing shows, and you could do like 15, 30, or 3-minute like clips. And so I'll do usually 15 or 30-second clips of the bands we're playing with, and just throw it up there on TikTok and say, "Hey, we're playing with Tommy Stewart Direwolf tonight." And it'll be 15 seconds of them playing. Or we're playing with Grave Next Door tonight. Or we're playing with Doomstress, or whoever we're playing with. And I'll throw that up there. And it's just fun to share other people's music as well, because it's like you're all playing the same stuff, and you're all playing the same shows. So might as well get all that out there, and you can tag them, and it's just like any other social media. You can tag who it is you're filming or whatever. So it's pretty cool. And then TikTok's, the thing I like about it is it's real easy to share across the other platforms. That's, to me, is a big positive. And plus, you got a short video that you can even upload to YouTube or whatever. So that's pretty cool.
It is very cool. And I'm curious to know how Black Duma Records is working out for you. Do you see yourself, the band, working with them in the future? Anything that you could tell us about, or anything going on with Gravehuffer that the fans would like to hear about?
Yeah, Black Duma's great. Tommy Stewart's Direwolf, who we've been playing with here all throughout the last year or so. Tommy Stewart, he was in a band called Hollow's Eve, and they were on Metal Blade Records back in the day. He's toured with Slayer and Motorhead, like all kinds of the old school, thrash and metal bands. So he's been there and done that. So we trust Tommy with everything that we put out, and he puts a lot of time and detail and attention into all his band's releases, and he's a big Gravehuffer fan too. So that really helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely helps.
When the when the label is also a fan of what you do, But because like the project we're doing right now, it's Dante's Divine Comedy. It's going to be one song. It's like 22 minutes long, and it's going to be Inferno, Purgatory, and Paradise, kind of 3 different sections. And when Tommy was here in town when we played in Joplin, he came to the studio and he listened to it and he goes, "Man, guys, this is brilliant. This is your masterpiece. I don't know what to say." He goes, "This is just amazing."
Really, a 22-minute Gravehuffer song.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just something we had to get out of our system. I mean, it's kind of like our version of 2112 or something. And by Rush.
Epic.
And so it's an epic, exactly. And so we just we've been talking about doing the long songs for a long time. And all of us are big progressive rock metal fans, and big fans of 70s music, and we were wondering if we could even do it. And
wow.
I felt, we all feel like we've really done it, and we've got all kinds of guests, appearing on it. Cam Lee from Massacre, he sings on it. We got some people playing cello. We got people, friends of ours playing like tuba and trombone, trumpet, and a friend of ours doing like he like writes orchestral pieces, and so it's pretty out there, But at the same time, it still sounds like us. I don't know how, but it still sounds like Gravehuffer.
It sounds like it could be a really complex song that bridges together the complexity of progression, yet be aggressive and powerful at the same time. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to be like? I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely intense, and just like everything we do, I don't know, it's like Gravehuffer just up another notch. I mean, and the production's really, Mike did an incredible job mixing it, and it sounds fantastic, and like all of us are doing vocals, even our drummer's doing vocals, and Travis and myself, and we've got guest vocalists, and I mean, it's just, there's so many different textures going on, and it's so heavy, it's so intense, but at the same time, there's parts that are like beautiful and pretty sounding.
When can we hear this?
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good question. We still have to record the other part of the record, and by the time we turn in the recorded materials, the record gets made. I'm guessing it'll probably be late fall, early winter 2022.
Oh, that's tough because I'm not around then. Yeah, I go back to work, in the fall. I'm still doing that Softee gig, but I'm back here like in October, end of October, November. So
yeah,
maybe
I highly doubt it'll be before then.
Yeah.
By the time you get back, it'll be a perfect timing.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. If it works out that way, we'll have you back on the show for a brand new offering.
Yep.
And we could even do a world premiere of this song when it is ready, even before the interview.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Like, I mean, hey, if you're willing to play the whole 22 minutes, man, it's all yours.
That's no problem for me. We are not, regulated by the regular terrestrial radio where they have to have a 3-minute song to be played. Where the beautiful thing about internet online radio is that there is no limitation to the songs you play.
Right.
And there are many bands out there that do have these epic length songs and they get played. So I would be honored to play a 22-minute Gravehuffer song.
Heck yeah, that'd be great.
And to make it a world premiere, I could talk to LC, make up a special banner for it. We could get this done.
Heck yeah, that sounds like a plan.
When the time is right, let's do this.
Okay, sounds good, man.
All right, okay, and I'll pencil you in for next year for an interview. If the album's out there by that time, you'll definitely be back on the show talking about it.
Okay, yeah, sounds good, man.
All right, let's remind the listeners out there how they could support Gravehuffer. Let's give them the websites that they can get music from you and whatever else you may have. Of course, we're going to give them your Facebook, facebook.com/Gravehuffer. And then I think the next best thing is your Bandcamp, gravehuffer.bandcamp.com.
Yes. Yeah, those are the two that we are pretty much the most active on. And we're also on Twitter. It's just at Gravefuffer. Same with Instagram and YouTube. So yeah, we're pretty much on all the platforms.
That's great. And do you have anything available that you didn't have the last time that we talked? Any updates to your merch?
We've got like 4 or 5 different shirt designs from when I last talked to you, I believe. And these all revolve around the Necroeclosion, like song titles, I guess you could say. And so yeah, they're up there, and got posters. Of course, we got all the physical music releases, CDs and vinyl. We got a split that we did with a New Zealand band called Souls of Hades. It's on orange vinyl. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff up there. Gravefuffer.bandcamp.com/merch.
I'm thinking already about our next interview, and you know what I'm thinking? I would love to use your circular, your round Gravehuffer logo, if that's possible, just to keep it different from everything else, to make it stand out from everything else. I think that would be a great idea. Also, I want to mention that I noticed on the Gravehuffer YouTube channel that you have a new video that was released about 4 months ago for Custom of the Sea, a lyric video. That's really cool that you have that as well.
Yeah. Custom of the Sea is, that one's about apparently what happened, and I can't remember the time frame on this, but back in the days of the seafaring days, I guess you could say, when boat travel was the big thing, for shipping and just traveling in general. There was no air flight or anything like that, so there was times when sailors would get lost at sea, and their rations would run out, and so they would have to basically make a decision on, well, we can't starve, but this guy's sick, so he's not going to make it. If we kill him and eat him, then the rest of us can survive. So, So basically, that was called, quote, the Custom of the Sea. And it was actually kind of swept under the rug. It wasn't necessarily illegal until a trial was made, until a murder / cannibalism was brought to trial. I believe this was in the 1800s, not that long ago. And it was in London, I believe. It was brought to trial that made cannibalism illegal at sea. It's kind of crazy. Cannibalism was legal at sea until the 1800s.
That is probably really sick to think about that. Wow.
I know, it's just crazy. So that's kind of what we do is we'll get these weird, crazy stories, and we'll just kind of look at these things and, wow, this only happened 200 years ago, or we'll do like the Battle of Stalingrad or whatever. Like, God, that was in my parents' lifetime, and so it's just crazy.
Yeah. But also, it was about a year ago you released. We talked about this, I think, the last interview. The Causes lyric video and the Ghost Dance was the first lyric video we talked about that. So it's good that you're keeping on top of the videos as well. What do you think the plan is for the winter time as far as doing live performances in support of Necroeclosion? With this rise of COVID again, are you looking to continue performing live, or do you think you're going to be finishing up your next offering?
Well, we're probably going to try to finish up the record. We don't have anything until March 19th, I believe. And that's a show called Sinfest. I believe it's 2 days, the 18th and 19th, in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
And one of the listeners from Metal Messiah, her name's Shauna Crystal Nutt.
Oh, yeah, Crystal Shawnat. Yeah.
Yeah, I always get it mixed up.
That's okay. She goes by Crystal. She goes by Sean.
Okay.
It's all good.
She's like super excited because this fest is happening really close to where she lives, and so I can't remember how it got brought up. She was asking, like, "Hey, when you guys playing next?" And I told her, and she's like, "Little Rock, that's really close to where I live." So, well, here you go. So she's all excited. She bought some shirts and stuff here a couple of days ago.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, she had asked me to tag her and to tag her sister-in-law, Stacy.
Stacy.
Yeah. So she seems like she's a real big fan. Of course I want to tag you. Don't worry about it.
Right. Well, yeah, I've talked to Stacy as well. She's not really into heavy music that much, but she's like, I really like you guys. She goes, you guys are really good. Like, I can tell you're really good players, and so to me that just blows my mind. I've heard that before. Like, I don't really like heavy music, but you guys are pretty cool, and so I don't
That's
know.
Something else.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to figure out where the appeal is, but it's there somewhere.
I don't know. It's hard to explain, right? But as long as you have someone that appreciates your music, that makes you feel really good.
Yeah, it does. It's really cool. That just makes it for me.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I know last time we spent time talking about your gear, you were really excited about talking about you had gotten a new guitar. I'm not sure if you have any new toys now to talk about, but if you do and would like to talk about it, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of new guitars since we talked, and I'm still with Solar Guitars. One of them is a 7-string that I've used exclusively on the whole Dante song album process. And so it gives the Dante thing a little bit more of a heavier, extended range, and so yeah, I'm excited for people to hear that. It's never been played on any other Gravehuffer material. And our bass player even got him a 5-string bass to kind of help match that, and so he's with Solar Guitars now. He's officially endorsed by them, and so yeah, it's kind of cool that we're both with the same company finally, and so yeah, it's worked out really well so far. Solars make really great instruments, and also I do have an 8-string that I just got, and I haven't really dug into that as much because I'm still writing with the 7, and so the 8-string, it's a little bit different beast. So yeah. I'm sure you'll hear it on the next Gravefuffer thing. So
it's going to sound something. It's going to sound totally different than what I'm used to hearing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the 7-string, to me, it still sounds like Gravefuffer, but it's like, man, it's just like something. There's a little bit different character to it, because I don't want it to sound like a different band or anything.
Like Gravehuffer to the max.
Yeah, it's like, Gravefuffer, like, we don't want our instruments to, like, make our sound totally change, And so we want the instruments to, like, inspire us to write stuff that's different, but we still want it to sound like what we sound like and play in the same style that we play them with. We don't want the instrument to dictate how we play. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I get you. So maybe more like a Gravehuffer on steroids a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we still play the instruments in the same way, but there's just more strings.
Yes. So the sound has to be a little bit more, I guess, enhanced, you would say, because of that.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it, actually.
That's great. And thank you for sharing that with us. I'm interested to really hearing this new music. I can't wait till it's out there.
Yeah.
And any updates on your job? I know you really are loving your job. Last we spoke about it. Everything's okay with that as far as do they make you wear a mask again because you're indoors, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, Yeah, we're still having to mask up, which is fine. I've got 3 shots now, so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not, no concerns for me as far as that goes. But no, I love my job. And, like, my kids go to school for free. The benefits are just fantastic. And I get off anytime I get off on holidays. It actually works out really well. My wife, she finished her degree out there. And, she was able to go for free as well. So yeah, the benefits by far outweigh the pay. So,
Speaking of your family, you have 4 kids?
I've got 4 kids, yeah, all boys. And the 2 youngest are twins.
Oh, okay. How old is the oldest one?
He's 18, and he just finished his first semester. And he got all A's except he got a B in calculus. And he was just like, darn it.
Oh, wow. I wish I could get a B+ in calculus. Wow.
I know, seriously. But, his major is aerospace engineering, so, shooting for the stars, literally.
He's going places.
He is.
Be right. Yeah, I'm sure you're really proud of him.
We're extremely proud of him.
Yeah, I noticed on your Facebook also, I don't know if they're all endorsements, but you're connected to a lot of companies, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, most of them are their endorsement. That word endorsement's kind of a funny thing. Sometimes people call it brand ambassador. Sometimes they call it artist. It's weird. But it's all means the same thing. Like, you get a discount for your gear, and you help talk up the gear, and you use exclusive that gear. And so that's basically what it boils down to. And yeah, all those companies we're with, we get deals on all that gear, and we are in our contract, so to speak. We have to promote them, and they promote us and help us out. And
that's a win-win situation for both of you.
Yeah,
that's
it really
great.
is. It really is. So,
congratulations on that. That's outstanding.
Thank you.
Ritchie, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans that are tuning in at this time?
I just hope to see you at a show soon. Any of you listeners out there that are in the Colorado area, we'll be playing all over Colorado. Memorial Day weekend. We're going to be playing as far east as New Jersey, as far south as New Orleans. We're going to be playing all over the place. So we hope to see you at a show this year. And we're also I'm just chomping at the bit to release this new record. So
yeah, I can't wait to hear it. But take your time doing it. Do it the right way you want to do it. Right. And we'll be here when you're ready to play it and to talk about it. We'll be here for you.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, it's crazy sitting on the material that's already done. Like, it's ready for people to hear it. So we just got to finish up the other songs.
From what I was understanding, you were saying before about this 22-minute epic that you're still waiting on like special guests to contribute to that song.
Yeah, we're just waiting on one person.
Okay.
Once he puts his solo down, it's done, 100%.
Wow, I wish he was already doing this week to play it already. But, hey,
right? Yeah.
We have to understand.
I think he's actually working on it right as we speak. So.
Okay, I got you. Well, Ritchie, I really want to thank you for your patience and coming back on the show to fill in all the Gravefuffer fans on what's going on. And I especially got to tell you, you're a good man. You coming on the show and you're not feeling well. It's not COVID. It's a cold of some sort. And taking the time to do this, I give you a lot of credit. You're the man. I just want to make sure if there's anything else that you want to bring out there before we go, I just want to give you every opportunity to say anything that you want that we have not talked about. If there's anything that we have left out, I want you to feel free to mention anything that you'd want to.
I can't really think of anything we haven't covered. I'm pretty sure we've got all the bases covered, man.
Do a good job. We do good interviews together, I think.
We do. I think we're real concise and get all the info out there and have a good time doing it.
That's what it's all about, right? To get this done, let the fans out there know what's going on with Gravehuffer, and we accomplished that once again. So
yes,
I want to thank you for this opportunity again to learn about this upcoming release. And definitely, when you have word, please contact me that we can get this banner made up for a special world premiere of this epic song, and also follow up with a full interview for the whole album to talk about it and everything that's going on with you as far as at that point with videos and the band and everything like that.
Yeah.
You'll have, we'll book this in for next year at some point, I guess.
Yep.
That's when usually you're pretty quick with this, actually. We're getting an album out there almost, maybe not every year, but you're pretty quick with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's tough. Like
maybe every 2 years, maybe.
Every 2 years, yeah. We want to try to keep it, within that time frame.
Well, when the time is right, we'll be back here on Metal Meltdown, and we'll be very happy to hear what's going on with that. I want to wish you a really great new year. You, your family, your bandmates. May you have a very safe 2022. And when you have more to tell us as far as the new album when it's ready and this new song, and when you could tell us about everything that we can know about it, please hit me up so we can start spreading the word, because I want to give you as much support as I can.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you, man. I really do.
I appreciate you too, and thank you so much again for doing the interview. I know that we had planned on doing it earlier, but you weren't feeling too well, and I was really worried that we were going to get this done, but I'm so happy that we were. You're the man. Like I said, you probably didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway, and I appreciate you. Yeah. I really, really appreciate you. So let's go crank up some more Gravefuffer now, and let's crank it up loud.